formula. It'll kind of thicken up just a little bit, and it will give you a little bit more coverage. So that's what I'm doing with this. So we're all blended out, as you can see. This is like flawless. Now, even though that foundation is not like full coverage, it's still really, really nice, right? Anyway, I'm gonna use NARS Radiant again, the creamy radiant concealer or whatever. I'm gonna use the color Chocolat for like my bronzer contour-ish situation. Work with one side at a time. I'm going to use my same foundation brush. Now, I personally like to bring this down a little bit more because I don't want to have like a super 5 head, so I tend to like bring it down kind of low. Okay. So I also want to mention that I didn't bring it low. I'm bringing it kind of like almost on top of my cheekbones, and then I'm blending like up, like I'm pressing it into the skin. I can also go like this as well, but sometimes with some foundations you can't really do that, only because it'll start moving around. So this is how I'm doing this. Now, in the middle of me doing that, got a good blend here. I'm gonna use Hourglass Beech concealer just for a little bit of brightness, just a little bit. This is also kind of full coverage. She is something else, okay? So there's that. That I know a lot of us love. Some of us not so much, but I love it. And depending on how natural I'm trying to go, that'll determine how much I put on versus how little I put on. I'm going for more of a natural look, so I didn't want to go too heavy on there. So yeah, anyways, I'm just using the same brush that I use for my concealer, and I'm kind of pushing it on the side of my nose, and there we go. See, so we're not too bright. We're like just right. All right, now I know that everybody sets their face and their under eyes differently. All good. I'm gonna set my face with 2 different powders, but same powder but different color. So I'm gonna use the same brush that I use for my concealer. I'm gonna make sure that I blend everything back out. And I'm gonna dip in. I have a cap full of, kind of want to stay looking up though. Now I'm not using a whole lot, I'm just using a little bit. And I'm just pressing that into the skin. This is really doobly. This is gonna be great for fall. With my poof, I'm gonna go into the lighter color, and I'm gonna just pinch it like this, get the product on just like that, dab off the rest. You don't need a whole bunch. And then I'm gonna stamp that. Okay, just like that. Yes, I am baking. So just about like that. And if I want to get closer, you know, to kind of like contour-ish my nose, I'll do something like that. I'm gonna take the rest of that powder and I'm gonna press it into the skin. Now I'm gonna take a fairly big brush. This is another Sephora brush, the number 50, the Flawless Light Powder. I'm gonna go back into that yellow powder, and I'm gonna start dabbing this all over my face. And now we're gonna set the face. I really hate to like mess up all this beautiful dewiness that I have going on, but it's all good. I'm dipping it into the cap and I'm dusting off the rest and just using whatever's left on the brush. And that's what I'm gonna use to put all over my face. So now that I got the powder everywhere, I'm gonna feel with the back of my hands. I'm just gonna feel if there's any skipping. And I'll tell you why in a second. If there's any skipping, you need to powder a little bit more. So I'm gonna get some more powder. I'm gonna just start dusting it kind of like everywhere. So the purpose of this, actually let me get my nose as well. And I'll go back and dab the rest all over. Yes, you will look powdery. That's okay. That's what setting spray is for. Okay. So this is where we're gonna bake the rest of the face. So you wanted that to make sure that it's nice and dry, because if it is not dry, what's gonna happen is your bronzer is gonna start skipping. So I'm gonna use my puff, the other side, and I'm gonna just go under my cheekbones. I'm gonna just bring it down. If it's not even, make sure it's even. Too extreme, you know. So that's that. I'm not gonna use any more powder today. So I'm just gonna cover all of this. While we're still baking, I tend to use this brush here to bronze my face up. Just love it. So this is what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use Caramel Cutie bronzer. I'm gonna get like a lot on my brush. You know, just a little bit, a lot, whatever. And I'm gonna start bronzing. Now, in the case that you feel like it's not enough bronzer, or like the bronzer is not like deep enough, which sometimes I feel like this one is not, I would just use something a little deeper. So right where I contoured, this is usually where I like to bronze, not contour. I'm gonna go ahead and just add this now. Desert Rose, I'm hidden panned. I have bought so many of these. I'm gonna use my same bronzer brush, this one, and I'm gonna just hit it right there. Now I'm a blush girl, so like this is what I love. And usually I would spray my face first before I would do this, but I'll be okay. I'm just gonna use a little bit of this Amrezy. It's kind of old, but you know, whatever. I never bring my highlight on the apples of my cheeks. I just don't like that look. It's not for me. So I like to bring mine back here. Sometimes I bring a little bit up here, you know, whatever. That way I'm looking like I'm glowing, kind of like everywhere. And then I'll go back in with my blush brush and soften out those edges, because nobody wants a strip, right? Nobody wants a strip of highlight. That is so, we're so over that. Like, we're over that, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, we're over that. But you still want to see a little bit of the line, just a little bit. Now with the other side of this brush, to do this, that way bronzer's kind of like everywhere. I'm not like really contouring my nose, but it kind of helps, you know. It's the worst when you gotta freaking blow your nose while you're doing your makeup. Now, sometimes this will happen and you just kind of have to bear with yourself. If you put too much bronzer on, or if it's a little too low, just go back in with your powder. Okay, and then swirl it around. Okay, and do the same thing with the other side. Yeah, I kind of went in with the powder, so just letting you know. And swiping it around. This way, everything kind of blends seamlessly together, and you don't want to just have like a harsh line of anything. So I'm like so anti harsh lines, so that's why I'm doing this as well. Now I like to go pretty dark with my bronzer, so yeah. So now we're a bit more seamless. Now we can spray our face. I'm gonna spray my face really quick, shake it up. Something's going on with my spray. I hope it doesn't mess up today, because it's like a nice bath, y'all. This is great. Love it. And I'm gonna spray again. Usually I like to like spray in between like my foundation and my powder and stuff like that, like to spray, like sandwich it between, but I forgot, so you know, whatever. But you know, Jack kind of taught me that, but it's okay. I'm gonna just use this on top, no biggie, and I'm gonna just this now is the Morphe, so it has a nice fine mist. Okay, and then try not to hit your face, because good Lord, this happened to me many times. So we're good to go. I'm gonna do eyes now, and I just don't do my brows first ever. I don't know how you guys do that. That is like sorcery. I don't know how to do it. I mean, I don't know how you guys do it. I hate going around brows. I'd rather just do brows last. Like, that's always been my preference, but you know, to each his own. Anyways, I finally got my P. Louise bases, so I'm gonna use number 3. Let me see how that one looks. Oh yeah, that's nice and natural. Number 3 looks like that. And then I'm also gonna use number 5. I probably don't even have to use number 5. I'm gonna just use a little bit. Oh yeah, number 5 is nice. Oh, that's gonna be perfect for like my deeper girls. Of these, so let's see, let's give them a whirl. I'm excited to finally use this P. Louise base. So I'm looking like that. I'm gonna use a regular like fluffy-ish brush, and this is a Morphe number E30. The other brush I was using was a Fenty 180 concealer brush. So I'm gonna just kind of tap out the edges first. I want this to be nice and seamless. We're going for something basic, something very easy, because the most questions that I get is, how do you do something really natural and really pretty? So I want to go for that today, because at least you guys have the base right? Okay, you guys have the base down, and I'll show you guys what this looks like, you know, in natural lighting, because I do have lights on right now, but we're just gonna use the lights for right now. Alrighty, so the first brush that I'm gonna use, I think this is dry. I think we gonna see, y'all. We're gonna see. So I'm gonna use this nice, really big, fluffy brush. We're not gonna do like a full-on eyeshadow look. We're just gonna do something really natural, something really simple, easy, and pretty. I'm gonna use the Morphe M511 brush, and I'm gonna mix 2 bronzers. This is actually what I used. You guys didn't see it, but this is what I use for my face as well. Sometimes I like to go for a little bit more of a bronzy look. Sorry, the powders get into my nose and then everything just starts itching and then it's annoying, whatever. So I'm gonna use both of these bronzers. They kind of have like a little bit different undertones. Anyways, I'm gonna just mix into both of them. Get something like that, dust off that excess, and I'm gonna just start pushing that right there. So I'm steadily pushing. I'm pushing because I feel like I get the best payoff pushing first, and then I can blend. But for now, I'm gonna just push. I'm also gonna bring this into lightly feathering it up into my brows, just like right there, and then like right there. I am gonna be slimming down my nose just a little bit, you know, just a little bit. Now I can easily start, without feeling like anything is tugging, I can start to work that around my eyelid. So before I was pressing it into the skin, this time I'm, you know, blending it out now. I hope that makes sense. I'll show you guys again on the other eye, because I want to make sure that you guys get this blend correctly, okay? All right, I kind of got a little closer. Anyways, I want to go do the other eye. Got my color on. Okay, so we're pressing into the skin. I would recommend, even if you didn't have the P. Louise, press into the skin first, and then that way it'll create more of a seamless blend. So even with just pushing it into the skin, it's almost like it has a nice blend already. So I really love this method. And then start softly diffusing those edges. Okay, I'm gonna get some more. And since we already did the patting motion, we don't have to keep doing that. Those were just bronzers, okay? And that's what I started out with. Now I'm gonna use my Urban Decay Naked Heat palette, the Naked Petite Heat. And I'm gonna use this color Wild Thing because I love the orangey shade in there. So I'm gonna get that shade on here on my brush. And I'm gonna bring that in here as well, because I love that like orangey brown thing that's going on here. That's like my go-to, so I kind of do it a lot. Oh yes. And I'm gonna pull my hand down a little bit, and I'm gonna just gently blend up a little bit. That way we have a nice blend. Okay. I'm also gonna bring this down. I'm using a clean brush. I'm using this MAC 286 brush, and I'm gonna just diffuse even further. I love this brush. It's one of my favorite brushes. A little bit more flat-ish. Oh, we can use this one. MAC 239 brush. And I'm gonna use those same bronzers, and I'm gonna get on both sides, and then I'm gonna put right under here. Now I'm gonna use this Baby Got Peach palette by ColourPop, and I'm gonna use the same brush here. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I'm gonna go into the color Darling. It's this color here. And now, actually, let me not use this brush. Let me use another brush. Okay, I'll use this brush here. It came in a set. It's a Morphe brush. It came in a set, but it looked like that. So I'm just kind of using something more fluffy. I don't want anything to be defined here. So I'm taking this here, and then I'm gonna just pat. Now, in the case that is not bright enough for you, because you kind of want it to be a little bit bright, if it's not bright enough, then you're gonna have to go with something that's a little bit brighter. So I'm pressing. Now what I also could have done is use that base again, something lighter, and then put that right there, and then like put it on the lid, and then that would help make these colors pop more, like make this color pop. But that'll be a little bit more difficult to do once you already have colors there. I don't want to confuse you guys. I wanted this to be simple and easy. So okay, so now you have a shape there. I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side, whatever, but it's a really pretty color. I start blending it right there, right there. Let's see if I can get the other side to be the same. Now you can stop here, or you can go back into any palette that has like a nice brown, like a brown color. I'm using this really small detailed brush here. This is a Sephora number 18 brush. I'm gonna use this just right at the lash line. I love to do this. I love doing this on my clients as well. This is also how I would start my wing liner. Now I can really change up this look. I can bring it up if I wanted to. I'm not going to, but I could if I wanted to. So right above that lash line. This also helps to hide the lash band a little bit better. So something like that. We'll go a little bit thicker. So I went in a little bit thicker. I will do the other side, and then I'm gonna start blending it out, okay? They wanted to fight me. My lashes like to fight me. So I'm just putting mascara on my own lashes, and that way it'll help to blend in better. I want to put some mascara in the bottom lash line. Okay, so